Carmelo a ball hog? Phil Jackson was asked about Melo in an interview with CBS Sports and says that he can play the role that Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant played in the team's triangle offense, but he believes that Anthony sometimes breaks a team rule by holding onto the ball for too long. Carmelo, a lot of times, wants to hold the ball longer than we have a rule. If you hold it past 2 seconds, you benefit the defense. He has a little bit of a tendency to hold it for 3, 4, 5 seconds, and then everybody comes to a stop. That is one of the things we work with, but he's adjusted to the triangle. He knows what he can do, and he's willing to see its success. Stephen A., you have any problems with Jackson's comments?
Well, of course I do. I have profound respect for Phil Jackson. 11 championships are 11 championships. But I don't like him very much. And I think that I need to say that. And here's why. Phil Jackson has been called many things. He's been called the Zen Master. He's been called the brilliant basketball coach, brilliant basketball mind, an ultimate champion, the best coach in basketball. But there is one thing that Phil Jackson has never been called, and it is absolutely what he is. He's a bully. No one's ever called him that. I'm going to today. Let's take into account the fact that we need to ask ourselves the question, who the hell does Phil Jackson think he is? Phil Jackson does have 11 rings. 6 of them came with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. 5 of them came with Shaq and Kobe, got 3, and then Kobe with Gasol. No one has rode the coattails of a superstar the way Phil Jackson has. Don't tell me that the Chicago Bulls don't ultimately win a championship had Doug Collins remained their basketball coach. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from the greatness of Phil Jackson because there's something to be said about, you know, not messing up what you have, Max. The problem is, when have you heard Phil step back and exude and display humility in talking about how lucky he was to have Michael Jordan, how lucky he was to have Scottie Pippen, how lucky he was to have Dennis Rodman? How about a Tony Kukoc? How about a John Paxson, a B.J. Armstrong, a Steve Kerr? How about that? When have you ever heard him talk about that? How about when he got Kobe? Now, in fairness to Phil, they didn't win when they had Shaq and Kobe until Phil got there. But at the same time, you won when you had them. And then Mitch Kupchak pulled off the heist of the century when he got them to get rid of Kwame Brown.
Phil Jackson.
To get Pau Gasol. I mean, come on.
Phil Jackson may be a bully.
Nobody ever says this about him.
Phil Jackson may be a bully. I don't see how it comes out in this respect. I mean, he knows the triangle better than anyone. And when he says, I'll take his word for it, that Carmelo's holding the ball too long to be less than optimally effective in the triangle. Now, Carmelo should be able to run the triangle. He can score from the perimeter. He can post up. He can get his teammates open looks and all those kind of things that Phil Jackson wants him to do. But if Phil says he's holding the ball too long, fine. Because Carmelo's not on his best day as good as Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. In fact, he's not as good as Scottie Pippen or Shaquille O'Neal. He's not as good as any of those top-flight guys that Phil Jackson's had in the past. There's an argument between Pau Gasol at his best and Carmelo Anthony. I got news. The point is, of everyone I just mentioned, the only one to have a championship without Phil Jackson, the only one is Shaq, and he got 1. He got it with Dwayne Wade, who had the greatest finals of anyone since Michael Jordan had among his great finals. So with another top 3 or 4 player in the league who went bananas in the finals, Shaq got 1. Kobe never sniffed another championship without Phil. Neither did MJ before or after. Neither did Pippen in spite of playing when he still had something left on good teams.
There you go.
Neither did Gasol. I mean, so Phil Jackson has something to do with that.
Yeah, who said he didn't? I mean, what am I talking gibberish here? Who said that Phil Jackson deserves no credit?
Did I say that?
No. Excuse me. What coach had the players he had? And by the way, let's talk about Greg Popovich, for example. Craig Popovich don't even want to do interviews. He's mad he's got to talk at halftime. He's mad he's got to talk during the games, okay? He barely wants to talk to the media on a day-to-day basis. When the man gets Coach of the Year, the players have to come out and get him to hoist the trophy. And when he has the trophy, they run away because he tries to give it to somebody else because he wants no credit. But Phil's sitting down with everybody from Charlie Rose to ESPN and everybody else and he never, ever talks about all the other guys and what they did for him.
He does
Never
sometimes.
does that.
Sure he does. But if you want to get down on Phil Jackson for something, you should be down on the fact that he's so insistent upon a culture of the triangle as the basis for his offense. I mean, Greg Popovich uses a little triangle sometimes.
Yeah,
it doesn't work in today's game.
That's the thing to be down on Phil Jackson about.
No, what I'm down on him about is that he's so quick to get on other folks. This is his third year here. Is Melo the reason he walked into this season with a 49-115 record in his 2-year tenure, or that he couldn't build a bench? Is Melo the reason for that? Phil Jackson, is Melo the reason that the man has been on 2 road trips and they were LA, the Clippers and the Lakers games last year? Is that Melo's fault?
No, but he holds the ball a little too long
that this guy can't seem to assemble? I understand that. But listen, we all know that. Allen Iverson held the damn ball too. It didn't stop Larry Brown from getting him to the finals because you built the team around him. What has Phil Jackson done? All I'm saying to you is this. I respect the man as a great coach. He's an 11-time champion. But the arrogance and the willingness to bully people when you always talking about what they do instead of what you don't do. Phil Jackson is a great coach. He is a novice as an executive. He is a novice as a leader for the Knicks franchise.
13-time champion, too, as a player. But yeah.
That is a fact.
We got to move on.
Okay, I said 11 as a coach. I said coach.
Denying what Larry Bird has done. And we want to say happy birthday to Larry Legend. The former Celtic great turned 60 today. Bird was a 3-time league MVP, 2-time finals MVP, and 12-time All-Star. It got us thinking in our morning meeting, will we ever see another white superstar on Bird's level, Max?
Yeah, of course we will. I mean, listen, you take just North American Caucasian players like Steve Nash and John Stockton, not quite on Bird's level because they're shorter, but they were some of the best point guards of their generation. Of course, we will see other, American Caucasian, I suppose, European American superstars. Eventually, we'll see more than one, Stephen A. Smith.
I'm not so sure. I mean, I definitely think that we'll see European stars of lighter pigmentation. But when you talk about the United States of America and the options that you have available to you, I mean, the fact of the matter is this brother's on every street corner. I mean, every park, balling out. And a lot of times when you see white American players, yeah, they can play. There's no doubt about it. But in terms of that want to, meaning wanting to go for it, there are so many options available to a white male individual in the United States of America. There are times that I question. We got better options. We got baseball. We got football. We got all of this.
Yeah, but you know what, Stephen A. Smith?
I'm not one.
The NBA, the NBA is such an appealing place to work. It's not full contact like football, guaranteed contracts, lots of money, fun to play. That if you can, it's almost not an exaggeration to say the following. Everyone in the world, basically, who can play in the NBA does play in the NBA, and it selects
Let me make you laugh. Let me make you laugh. Let me make you laugh with what I'm really trying to say. It's not intentional, and it's not insidious in any way. It's all in fun and love, but it's almost like reverse discrimination in the United States of America. It's like we got the black dudes, we got the Europeans, okay? Like the white dudes from America, they got a harder way to go to get
you saying that the NBA is missing
and to really make some noise. It's hilarious.
Are you saying the NBA is missing a good old-fashioned North American white dude in the league? Is that what you're saying?
You know what? Yes, I am. I really believe that let me tell you something. If you can find Larry Bird,
Hayward
a white
count, right?
American superstar, it would be special. I think the league would love it. I think everybody would love it. I just think it's kind of harder to find. There's so many options.
All right. Lots of options. We got some white American superstars in football. We're going to get into them next. ESPN Power Rankings are out. The Raiders are ranked 3rd in the latest ranking, but should they be higher? We'll discuss.